All right, I'm gonna do this one live, guys. Welcome, YouTube. My name is KarQ. If you've missed out on the news, I already mentioned it in the blog article reading, but today they announced what they're experimenting with 6v6 and stuff with 132. But the more important thing that they kind of just stuck in here in a little nugget of information is that Stadium Ranked and Stadium Unranked has 3% of the population who log in once and play it per day. Obviously, this doesn't add up to 100% when you check the distribution of the player base, but people who log in on a random day on June 28th, only 6% of them engaged in Stadium. So they dropped a nugget of information here. They said they'll continue supporting Stadium with seasonal balance updates, rank resets, and rewards, but they're not going to expand Stadium with new heroes or new maps anymore. Instead, we're going to take lessons of what we gained from building it and applying those lessons from talented devs into our future plans. So I thought in this little video right now, live, I'm just going to yap about what I liked, didn't like about Stadium, what I think went wrong, what went right, what they could take away from it. And yeah, so a little Stadium yappage. So no more support for new maps and new heroes for Stadium is the big takeaway point. And honestly, it makes sense from a business perspective, right? Nobody's playing it. You're going to spend all this extra dev time to develop a hero with so many powers. 12, what is this? 12 powers. There's a bunch of standard items, but like a lot of these like specific items and tune their balance and stuff specifically. I'm sure they had a couple more heroes in the pipeline, but honestly, with this roster, this could still survive for a decent amount of time. I think having no new heroes sucks, but like this is a pretty good roster. This is more than the launch of Overwatch. How many do we have? 33 heroes. Actually, a pretty good distribution of it. But that being said, it sucks that there's no new content. And okay, so what did Stadium do wrong? First of all, this game mode is a little difficult for a casual. A lot of people just log into the game and just want to play what's in front of them. Quick play is nice and easy. Unfortunately, this hero builder was a little too late. I think this should have been up on release. This is actually a great way to like pick your build because it's based off of people's choices and what's popular. A lot of people, when they log on, it's a little daunting. It's like going to Cheesecake Factory where the menu is just way too long. The paradox of choice. You don't know which power to get, which item to get, and you just don't know what to build, so you just don't want to build it because you don't want to like bring yourself to do it, especially after a long day of work or school. It's too daunting is the first thing with Stadium. That was its first problem. This hero builder solved it, but it was a little too late. It came out like a year after, like the player base already kind of dwindled down. But this is really good for those who have not tried Stadium and haven't played in a while because they thought it was too hard. Just click Hero Builder and then pick Build Focus or Commonly Picked, and you will actually be fine for the majority of the builds. That's number one. But it sucks this was a little too late. So A, it's a little too daunting. B, the games are really long. It is best of 7, and it's fragmented into 2 player bases. You have unranked and ranked. Unranked or quick play version is best of 5, but then best of 7 is really long for competitive. The queues are long, and fragmenting it kind of sucks, where you split the player base, and best of 7 is a little too long. I think they messed up starting best of 7, going to best of 5, then going back to best of 7. I think they needed to keep it best of 7, keep it best of 5 the entire time. One of the great parts about Overwatch is how fast-paced the games are. That's why people love just regular quick play here. Like quick play role queue, you get in and out of a game in like 6 minutes, 8 minutes to do a challenge or whatever. But Stadium is like a 5 to 10 minute queue time right now, and they're long as hell because there's a lot of rounds in between, which is tough. I personally would have played more if it was best of 5. Now that being said, they split it off the best of 5, best of 7. Number 3 is they should have just made one queue and not made it competitive ever. Anybody here who's played competitive Stadium knows this is kind of like a Mickey Mouse ranked mode. It's not really ranked. It's inflationary. You don't D-rank at all. Like it says I'm novice right now, and what's the rank sequence here? You go rookie, novice, contender, elite. I think all the way up to elite, even if you lose nothing and you're always gaining. So like it doesn't really matter what rank you are because you could be novice in this and then play with like a legend player or an all-star player right off the rip because there's so few players to fill in a match, and it's kind of based off like your other ranked in actual competitive or thing. You have to have a loose tie to it, or else you'll have like a bronze player in quick play hopping into Stadium and playing it to Legend Stadium, but they might just be plat in the main game. I think there is like a bit of a correlation because if you just have complete random matchmaking, that's also no fun. So they really should have just kept it completely casual in a sense with no ranks. Is that the third point I wanted to make? Yeah. So no more splitting it. Best of 5, 1 queue, hero builder is what they should have done. And honestly, I think having this always exist kind of like ruins the charm of it because it's always available. People are like less inclined to play it. I think if you brought Stadium as like a once in a while every 3 months, maybe once every year, every 2 seasons, bring it back with a couple of events and challenges tied to it. It would make people more incentivized to play it. And then that like forced 2, 3, 4 month break would make people want to come back and play it every once in a while. Maybe some people don't agree with that, you know, but like if you wanted to keep the player base fresh and have a lot of people playing it, maybe for that is the other one. Now, I'm not trying to dismiss people who are the 6% of players who are actively playing the stadium right now. Like, I understand, like, that's not something you want to say. I'm just trying to say maybe an idea to kind of bring it and make it super popular again. It's kind of the same with, I think there was Mystery Heroes Ranked. That came for like a single season, and they took it away. And a lot of people were like, you know, it's been long enough, they kind of want to bring it back. And I think if they brought it back, a lot of people would play it. But if Mystery Heroes Ranked was permanently here, I think like it would just like have a super small fragment of the player base. So you kind of have to like promote it once in a while as like a seasonal event or something. And when I say bring it back for a season and then take it out for a season, bring it back for a season, something along those lines. Not like an LTM for like 2 weeks. But yeah, somebody made the point, yeah, you can be legend, your teammate is novice. So the matchmaking isn't great, and that's probably largely due to the issues with the small player base, right? And like stadium, like matchmaking is supposed to correct itself over time if a lot of people are playing, if it's tuned correctly, but because the whole thing resets all the time and it's inflationary, you're never gonna get like true calibration. And people are only logging in to play it for stadium. It's tough. I think it just needed to remain like an arcade event or something like that the whole time. I understand they want to shoot big, and honestly, I respect that. You gotta swing the bat sometimes and try to hit a home run instead of just trying to bunt and play it too safe. So they tried it. It's been a year and a half, and I think the numbers speak for itself. Drives at the end do fluff the numbers for sure. Right now, that again, that excerpt on the blog article said it was just a random day today. I'm sure it was June 28th, but I'm sure like it would go up specifically on drives. Now, what can they take away from their learnings here? Well, hopefully they move their dev time into the other parts of the game, the main game, focus 5v5, 6v6. What they can also take away is some of the ideas of some of these powers are really good that I'd like to see into the main game for an idea for perks. Like if you guys have any idea, like if whoever here plays Stadium actively, if there's like a power here that could probably be tuned, maybe like less power creep, but like could work as a major perk or something, I think that could be fantastic. Like Zen has one where, you know, he can pop Trank and then like unpop it for this brief moment. That could be like a crazy major perk. Maybe you don't retain all your charge, maybe only like 50% of the charge or something, or 25% of the charge. I don't know, just being able to manually, or even just the idea of manually being able to stop Transcendence is already like a pretty strong perk in itself. Could be a minor perk. Instead of like having a fixed timer of it where you just need it really quickly and then you retain some charge. You know, some ideas like that. So if you're in the comments or listening to this whole Stadium yap and you played Stadium, if there's any powers here that you enjoyed or items that enhance a hero that could work in the main game, you can probably leave some suggestions here. I know a couple of devs listen to these videos, so you know we could probably get some ideas there. So they could take away some ideas that they cooked for that. So that's number one. Number two is some of the maps they developed for Stadium are actually quite nice, and I really wish you could play them in the main game, or at least give us access to it in the custom game outside of Stadium. So for example, if you go to custom game and you go to Stadium right here. For those who don't even touch Stadium, they literally have a whole ass Wuxing University water college map for Anran and Wu Yang's hometown in Chengdu, like their university. And this map is pretty. This could work as a control map in the main game, right? I think that's only one map, not a 3-map area, but they could like develop like the whole like area has kind of already been, you know, carved out for you. You got the mountains, you got these buildings, you have decent sight lines. You carve out an actual control map from this, we're cooking. I want more maps in the main game. So fantastic idea here. The backdrop here looks beautiful. Dude, look at this. The college. What if we just like, this is like the downstairs. What if we like fight in the college up the stairs? There's like a whole ass map. You can, a second part of control you can do here. And then one of the more corporate buildings for the university or something. This looks like an outdoor arena. Or a map is in a lecture room like inside. You know, we can take what they've already worked on with their assets here and the whole theme and continue off from that. And then I think the last point I want to make is that what sucks about custom games with Stadium is that you can only play it in Stadium. So outside of the maps, you know how you have all those powers and stuff? What if we had workshop capabilities? And I think that could be a nice natural step or evolution of the Stadium assets and the utility. So like one of my favorite custom game modes is called Mauga Nipple PvE. Okay, I use this as an example all the time. Some people literally made a crazy ass workshop Mauga as a raid boss, and then like he's got the HP for those who don't know. Then he has like little mini things in between. It says threats right now. There's Dragon Stimulation and Nipple Nuke. Can you see on the top area over there? Okay, now the raid boss is available to shoot. Look at his HP. Now, what if we had stadium level evolutions where we can like build with new powers, items that you can buy to do like little PvE things, and just let the creators and the community cook, okay? We've seen a lot of games in other games spawn from custom mods. Like, wasn't Warcraft made into Dota and stuff like that? And when I played Halo 3 as a child, I loved like Rift Ball. I think that was made from custom games. They even allowed, I think using the Forge custom games, they literally created whole new maps with some of their stuff. Unfortunately, Workshop is such like a small, I don't even think any devs like are actively, Workshop is also like not sunsetted, but it's not being actively worked on. There are tools to like build stuff, but it's nowhere near what it could be, and like giving that capability of Stadium into the creators' hands so they can like develop some fun stuff. They can literally make PvE. Never underestimate the dedication of a dedicated player base, right? They could really use the Stadium tools and all the items and powers and really create like a really nice roguelike, some crazy stuff. So yeah, that would be like a nice way to kind of like use and take the learnings from Stadium and like move it in advance, kind of what we can do with that. But that might be just wishful thinking. In any case, if you guys have any more feedback on Stadium, I think that's my collective thoughts. It just needs to be more casual, best of 5, nice and quick. Hero builder is great, and yeah, sucks for the active Stadium players, but that's my take on it. You guys can add your own in the comment with your suggestions and stuff. Anyways, that's it for this little yap video. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.